So the pinwheel magic comes in two sizes. You've got the 4.5 inch and the 6.5 inch. And each template can be made to use 3 different types of pinwheels. So there's lines marked on the ruler. You've got line A, line B and line C. Line A will give you pinwheels that look like the sample here. Line B will give you pinwheels that look like that. And line C will give you more of a block shape template. The other features of these templates are that they've got some holes cut in them there so that can help you to grip on when you're cutting. And there's also holes for your seam allowance, so 1/4 inch in from the edge, and you can very easily mark those so that your piecing is always accurate. So following the instructions on the back of the pack here, I had a little play with these templates, and what I've done is I've cut some squares, so 6 3/4 inch squares. I've joined them together and a 3.5 inch border around the edge. So basically you put your template on, and I'm going to use line B, so it's simply a matter of lining up line B with the seams and cutting around the edge. So I've got the clear grip on the bottom to prevent the template from slipping, and I'm just cutting around the edge like that. Now Elizabeth, who designed these templates, she recommends that each time you cut a template that you lay it in front so that you don't get yourself mixed up. So there's one part of the template there already. Now I'm going to cut my next one. So once again, I put line B on the seam there, and on the seam there, and now I'm going to cut out another piece. And you'll notice that the template doesn't slip thanks to the clear grip. And there's my next piece. So you can see it's already starting to form a pinwheel shape. This one here just forms part of the background. So once again, I'm just lining up on the seam there. Always important to use a nice sharp blade. There's my next piece there, so it's starting to look like that one. Another thing I noticed is that you don't have a lot of wastage with it either, so it's quite economical. So lining up line B again. Just got to make sure that you cut all those bits properly there. And already it's starting to form a pinwheel shape. My next one, once again, lining up line B, line B. There we are, so I've already got a pinwheel there that's formed. There's the start of another pinwheel. Cutting another border border piece again. And Elizabeth actually showed me with some of her quilts how she does different border strips around the edge, and it gives a really fantastic effect. Almost gives a colour wash effect. There's another corner piece there. Another thing Elizabeth recommends is that if you're working on quite a large quilt, to cut the rows and then sew a row together. And then don't start cutting your next row until you've sewn your first one together. Otherwise you might get a little bit mixed up with where you're sewing your pieces. You're basically cutting it and then it's getting sewn back together just like a jigsaw puzzle piece. And then we've just got our last one to cut now. And there's our last piece of the puzzle there. So you can see now what you would do is separate it, join it into rows, and then join the rows together. So that's your 4.5 inch, and obviously your 6.5 inch would create bigger pinwheels.